Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1935 AN. Today's date is August 5th, 2019, and the title of the episode is Gold Has Been Weaponized, Central Bank System Pushed to the Extreme. Now, before I get started, did you know that every year the U.S. Mint releases new coins into its America the Beautiful 5-ounce coin series? Incredibly, Noble Gold has managed to secure some. And as an Independence Day special, they're doing a combo of their own best-selling Trump 2020 Freedom 1-ounce silver coin with one of the America the Beautiful coins at a discount of $25 for the two during July or until they sell out of these coins. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com and use the code X22 Report 25 to receive this incredible discount. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, exactly what is the economic plan? How would we go from a central bank system and transition into a sound money system? Now remember, the central bank, they've had control since 1913. Since 1971, they've really taken control, and in 2008, they went to the extreme. Now, if we go back to 1971, what did the central bank, the deep state, do back during that period? They made it seem like we had a crisis where there were people looking to mess with the gold markets, gold speculators. And this was the reason we had to come off the gold standard. Was that the real reason? No, this was the story that they put forth so people would accept it. The real story was they were getting ready to switch us to the petrodollar system because they developed a separate economy that was based on the petrodollar system, where the Middle East would handle all the oil sales. And what they needed to do was they needed to create a crisis so they were able to tell a story of why we were doing this. Think about what the Patriots are doing right now. Think about what is happening with the economy. Now, do you really think that Trump is out there and the Patriots, they're out there and they're hoping that they can turn this economy around, make it incredible? Or are they pushing this economy to the extreme, creating a crisis so they can create a narrative of why we need to go back to sound money? Remember what Trump and the Patriots are doing. Everything the central bank, the deep state, have been doing in the past, they're using it against them. And whatever they did before, they're using it to bring us back to where we were. Everything is not always what it seems. So let's take, for example, what is happening. Trump wanted the Fed to lower interest rates. And the Fed paused interest rates first. Then they said, okay, we're going to lower interest rates. Trump said, we need a 0.5 point cut or even larger. And the Fed came along and they said, okay, we'll do a 1/4 point. Now, of course, Trump tweeted out that this is not enough. And now we see the market fall. Now, a lot of people are getting worried and scared. But think about what is happening. Think about the tariffs with China. Think about the market coming down. And think about gold moving up. Now, we're going to be talking about this a little bit later. But first, let's start with what is happening with China. Now, we know that Trump went ahead and he placed more tariffs on China. He's using this as leverage to get them to do what we want them to do. Now, does he care if it takes a week or two? I think he wants it to go out for quite a while before the deal is made. Why? Because it pushes companies out of China into other countries or back to the United States, because that is one of the major goals here. Now, China, they are manipulating their currency. They have been for a very, very long time. And they do this on purpose. Trump tweeted out the following. Based on the historic currency manipulation by China, it is now even more obvious to everyone that Americans are not paying for the tariffs. They are being paid for compliments of China, and the U.S. is taking in tens of billions of dollars. China has always used currency manipulation to steal our businesses and factories. hurt our jobs, depress our workers' wages, and harm our farmer prices. Not anymore. Basically, what Trump has just done right there, he's told everyone what China has been doing for a very long time. Now, who allowed this to happen? Past administrations, the deep state, the central bank. They allowed this to happen. They gave everything over to China. This was done on purpose. Remember, their entire mission back then was to create this globalist system. Let me continue with Trump's tweets here. China is intent on continuing to receive the hundreds of billions of dollars they have been taking from the U.S. with unfair trade practices and currency manipulation. So one-sided, it should have been stopped many years ago. Then Trump takes his anger out on the Fed and again points to the Fed and says, do you see what's happening here? You need to do more. He tweeted out, China dropped the price of their currency to an almost historic low. It's called currency manipulation. Are you listening, Federal Reserve? This is a major violation which will greatly weaken China over time. So when China devalues the yuan, or allows the markets to devalue the yuan, it exports deflation to the rest of the world, which is the ominous threat that the central banks have been so vigorously attempting to fight. And a lot of people are out there saying, well, here we have a currency war starting. And that's going to lead to a hot war. Well, not necessarily. A currency war is bringing this system to a point where there's a crisis. A crisis will allow the patriots to create a narrative to move us into a new system. Wasn't there a crisis back in 71 when they needed to move us to a petrodollar economy? Yes, there was. Now take a look at gold. Now we've been following gold. Since gold has gone up, we haven't really seen the paper contracts thrown at gold to bring it down like we used to. And this is a telltale sign, and we're going to continue to watch this. Now, since the market has come down because the Fed lowered the rates and there are certain individuals getting out of the market, but don't worry, the market's going to go up, but this is all being done on purpose according to the plan. As the market is falling, what's going up? Gold. Gold is approaching $1,500. Very interesting. Since gold is continually rising, this puts pressure on the central bank Federal Reserve note. Now, if you notice, gold is not just shooting up. It's not going from 1,100 all the way up to 2,000. I do believe the patriots, they are taking this one step at a time, allowing gold to rise. Now, as we see gold move up, we need to watch to see if those who manipulate gold throw paper contracts at gold to bring it right back down. Now, if we do not see this, that means gold is going to continually rise. And I do believe the patriots are doing this at a slow pace. This is all being done on purpose, bringing the gold price up. Remember, why are they having the gold price move up? Well, we go back to post 2619 from Q, where Anon asked a question, do we have the gold? Q responded, yes, we do. Q then said, gold shall destroy the Fed. Now, think about this. Trump and the patriots, they know that they're going to have to transition us from this central bank system. They also know that the central bank system is collapsing. There's no way around it. The debt load is way too heavy because the central banks have been pushing debt throughout the world. This should have collapsed a long time ago, but they figured out a way how to keep the whole system going. Trump is using that right now to keep the system operational. Now, I know there are certain individuals that are saying that the entire system is going to be coming down, like Bill Maher and others. They're saying that they would like to see a recession because that would get Trump out of office. Remember, their whole push right now is to control the economic narrative and take it away from Trump and the patriots. But again, this is not going to happen because Trump and the Patriots, they're following a plan. And this plan is to, one, keep the central bank system going. And this is going to lead up to the 2020 elections, using all the weapons and everything that they used in the past. And they're going to lower the rates again. And once they start stimulus, you're going to see things change. Now, the market did come down, and this was part of it. This brought the gold price up. I believe the gold is going to rise even further. And I think each time they're going to continually do this so they can bring the gold price to the place where they need it so we can transition into sound money. And remember, Trump is placing individuals on the Federal Reserve Board who believe in sound money, who believe in gold. And to make this push, you need to bring the central bank system to a screeching halt. You need to create some type of crisis. You need to show the world why we need to go back to sound money, why we need to have checks and balances. You just can't come out one day and say, hey, listen, by the way, this is a central bank system and we need to go back to gold because I say so. Think about the 1970s. Why didn't they just come out and say, hey, listen, we want to take everyone off the gold standard. We want to put them on the petrodollar system. This will allow the Fed to create as much currency as they want. And this way they can send currency across to other central banks and they can do all this stuff because the people would freak out. The same thing now. You need some type of crisis. You need to show the people why we need to go from this system to another system. And the things that you're watching right now is part of this show. It's all being done on purpose. And there's different aspects to what Trump and the Patriots are doing. They need to bring the gold price up. They need to reset all the trade deals. They need to reset the regulation. They need to put pressure on China. So companies say, it's not really worth it to stay in China anymore. Maybe I should move out to a different country, or maybe I should come back to the United States. All of this is being done on purpose. Then call out the World Trade Organization and say they push unfair practices. Tell the world that we're not paying for everything anymore. All of this is being done on purpose. It's part of the overall plan to move us out of a central bank system. I mean, think about it. Going back in time, the central bank, they've had many, many years, and I'm talking about the central bank, the deep state, to move everything and to make it impossible for companies to stay in the United States. Now, the Patriots, they got to turn all this around. Plus, during this period of time, what have they done with precious metals? They spent all their time convincing the world, especially the people in the United States, that gold, it's just a barbarous relic. You don't need it. While other countries were ramping up on gold because they really thought that they were going to have a one world currency, that gold wasn't going to be a factor anymore. But guess what? Those plans are down the toilet. We're going back to sound money. There's going to be a crisis that brings us there. It's going to be explained in a way to let the people know that a fiat system that is not connected to something like gold, this is what you see when the whole system goes haywire. And they're going to make this entire explanation. Now, China, on the other hand, right now, they're doing whatever they possibly can to not collapse under the weight of these tariffs. They're lowering their currency. They're burning through their currency. And the people here in the United States, they're not paying for the tariffs. China is taking up the slack. This is all, again, done on purpose. They're getting prepared and ready to create the crisis, transition us into a new system, and you can see how everything is being put into place. Does this mean it's going to be smooth and it's going to be easy? No, there's going to be bumps in the road. This is why you always need to be prepared. You need to be prepared with precious metals, food, water, supplies. because there will be bumps in the road. Will it be as horrible as it would have been if the central banks and the deep state were in control? No. Trump and the Patriots, they will try to make it as easy as possible. But again, going from a debt-ridden system over to another system where the dollar is worth absolutely nothing, and I'm talking about the Federal Reserve note, it's going to be painful for some people. But if you're prepared and ready, you'll be able to handle what is coming. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.